The Proud Boys are back. How the far right group is rebuilding to rally behind former President Donald Trump. The Proud Boys say recruitment is growing and they're ready to serve again as Donald Trump's unofficial protection force. I'm Tyrone Bowman. This is Tyrone Bowman Tonight. According to Reuters, this comes from Bedminster, New Jersey. A dark SUV cruised past former President Donald Trump's supporters near his Bedminster Golf Club in New Jersey on a windy April afternoon. Billowing from the vehicle were three flags, one for the Trump campaign, two others with the initials, quote, BPB, close quote, the insignia of the far-right Proud Boys movement. Through the open windows, three Proud Boys flashed the OK sign with their hands, a gesture often associated with white supremacy and the far right. Trump's fans cheered. Four men dressed in the signature black and yellow shirts of the Proud Boys spilled out of the SUV and began glad handing the crowd like homecoming heroes. The Proud Boys are back. 4 years after the failed effort to overturn Trump's 2020 election defeat, the violent all-male extremist group that led the storming of Congress on January 6, 2021, is rebuilding and regaining strength as Trump's campaigners to return to the White House, according to interviews with 8 Proud Boys, 2 U.S. law enforcement officials, and 4 experts who tracked the group's online activity. Since January 6th Capitol riot, 4 former Proud Boys leaders have been convicted in federal court of seditious conspiracies, each sentenced to 15 or more years in prison. At least another 70 members were charged with participating in the violence. But that crackdown hasn't stopped the Proud Boys. Some Proud Boys say they are preparing to emerge once again as a physical force for Trump, drawn to his hardline nationalism and convinced their leaders will be pardoned if he wins. Trump himself promises to pardon convicted January 6 rioters if he's elected. After last Thursday's historic guilty plea against Trump, an Ohio Proud Boys chapter vowed war and posted a video of Proud Boy street brawls that ended with the message, "Fighting solves everything." And Miami chapter said, "Now more than ever, we are recruiting." Some posted images of the upside-down American flag symbolizing the Stop the Steal movement that falsely claims Trump won the 2020 election. One Proud Boy told Reuters that America is in a period of calm before the storm. This is no secret. I wonder what would happen if the Black Panther Party decided to reorganize and rebuild. You know, anytime black militia begins to stand up for themselves, they are quickly put to rest. The group's main Telegram channel, however, posted a message urging Proud Boys to stay calm and not get drawn into a trap and risk arrest. Trump is, of course, getting railroaded, but we will not be walking into any honeypots over there. In recent weeks, the group has become more prominent at pro-Trump events, highlighting the risk of renewed violence in this year's presidential election. Dozens of Proud Boys, some in body armor and helmets, marked the 3rd anniversary of the January 6th insurrection with a show of force at the State House in Columbus, Ohio. On April 20, nearly a dozen gathered at a rally for Trump's Republican campaign in Wilmington, North Carolina. More recently, groups of Proud Boys from 2 chapters mixed with tens of thousands of Trump supporters at a campaign rally in Wildwood, New Jersey on this past May. On a broad walk near the entrance of the Wildwood rally, several Proud Boys identified themselves as members of the New Jersey State Chapter. One said they were there to provide security and stop agitators from disrupting or assaulting everybody. Inscribed on his wraparound sunglasses were the initials P.O.Y. Be short for Proud of Your Boy. He wore a ring with the initials PB with a black shirt with the yellow laurel wreath of the Proud Boys. 3 men from another chapter greeted them, their faces hidden by a gator mask. Cowards. You know, America is on the verge of a civil war. And if civil war breaks out in this nation, don't think that black people are going to be slaughtered by the millions. We will not be counted as sheep for the slaughter. If you all want Trump to be president, he has to win the election like everybody else. But we're not going to be intimidated, and we're not going to be threatened, and we're not going to live our lives in fear. This is not the 1950s, 40s, or 20s. This is not the 1960s. This is a whole new generation. The re-emergence of the Proud Boys at Trump's political rallies and events coincides with polls showing a majority of Americans fearing political violence. Will flare around November's election. It also comes when Trump's use of incendiary rhetoric is inspiring his supporters to target his opponents, including judges, prosecutors, and political rivals, in a wave of threats that's unprecedented in modern American politics. Let me insert this. I've been telling you all to read the book authored by Adolf Hitler, Mein Kampf. I don't know why you're all afraid to read the book. Trump reads the book. His supporters read the book. The KKK reads the book. I have read the book 3 times in its entirety. And everything that's happening in America is straight out of the pages from Adolf Hitler's book, Mein Kampf. Trump himself has not ruled out the possibility of political violence if he loses in November. If we don't win, you know, it depends, he said when asked by Time magazine in April if he expected violence after the election if he's jailed or put under house arrest. I'm not sure the public would stand for it, he said in a Fox News interview that aired on Sunday. At a certain point, there's a breaking point. Before the last election, Trump told the Proud Boys to, quote, stand back and stand by, close quote. 3 months later, federal prosecutors say the group's leader plotted and led the insurrection of the U.S. Capitol. Trump's baseless, rigged election claims inspired the gathering, and Trump himself urged the assembled crowd to march on the Capitol as Congress certified Democrat Joe Biden's victory. A spokesperson for Trump did not respond to questions for this story about his rhetoric, January 6th, and the Proud Boys. As the Proud Boys regroup, they've made changes designed to make them less vulnerable to law enforcement scrutiny, including doing away with layers of top leadership. According to interviews with the members, the Proud Boys now operate with self-governing chapters in more than 40 states, with little apparent central coordination, members said. While the group structure has changed, its Canadian founder remains an inspirational figure to today's Proud Boys. Gavin McInnes, a British-born far-right commentator who lives in New York, announced his resignation from the Proud Boys in 2018, but he remains deeply involved with the group, according to interviews with Proud Boys. When there are disputes, he meditates, one Proud Boy said. J. Daniel Hall, a lawyer who represented Proud Boys, agreed they'll take a lot of cues from Gavin McInnes. Over 3 interviews with Reuters, McInnes said he is not seeking a leadership role, but he communicates regularly with members, makes an appearance at some events, and tries to resolve infighting. Some Proud Boys affectionately refer to him as a, quote, godfather, close quote. There'll be a part 2 of this story. For now, I'm Tyrone Bowman. Never surrender, never quit. Let me say this just before I end. On this channel, everyone's opinions matter. It doesn't matter whether negative or positive. I read them all. I just don't respond. This channel right here, Tyrone Bowman Tonight, everybody's welcome here. I don't care who you are, what your faith is, what your color is, what your political affiliation is here. Tyrone Bowman Tonight is very fair and nonpartisan. So once again, I'm Tyrone Bowman. Never surrender. Never.